Yo, what's going on, man? Today is February the 9th, Sunday, NFL Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, but it's still 3 games in the NBA. And I only made one bet. Line hasn't moved a lot, and it's actually the one I made just a couple seconds ago with the injury news that we got with LaMelo. But we'll talk about the 3 games in the NBA. We'll also talk about NFL. Like I said in yesterday's video, I have made 2 plays. I'm not sure where the lines have moved because I haven't had a chance to look into that, but let's see real quick. We'll talk about those when we get there, though. But yeah, welcome in, man. Let's jump into a quick recap, and then we'll get into the games. I'll go through a couple comments as well. Yesterday, only 2 plays. That Dallas money line was, man, I was kicking myself. I felt like I should have went a little heavier, but I know AD did get hurt and leave the game. But anyway, it was still a winner. I talked about it on the show. I placed a bet on the show yesterday. I know some people like Houston. I know the line was moving towards Houston, but Dallas got the job done yesterday in, saving the city. Desperation must-win game with AD making his first appearance. And in Orlando, we took them at the end of the third quarter, plus the 1.5. And boy, Paulo Banchero looked terrible yesterday, but that game winner was so sweet. Icing on the cake yesterday. So another winning night. It's been a few in a row. I'm not even going to talk about how many because we need to just keep moving forward. I know I had an 0-1 night the other day as well, but it's been pretty low volume, even with 14 games on the board. I think it was yesterday, or 17, how many games it was. So trying to rinse and repeat today, man. Trying to rinse and repeat. Like I said, I got 3 bets locked in already. Trying to find something else. Didn't really get a chance to spend too much time on these games, so it'll be more talking these games out, kind of like what we did yesterday, but it's only 3, so it should be a shorter show for today. So let's jump into comments, and then we'll get started on today's slate. That OKC spot was easy. RR says, yeah, OKC was easy last night. I know a lot of people like Memphis yesterday, and the line was moving in their direction. It's different tiers, man. OKC is on a different tier than Memphis, and Memphis is good, but they just turned the ball over too much. Was one of the biggest things that I liked yesterday. I didn't play it, though. Did not put $1 on them. Devin says, doing an NBA show, even though on Super Bowl Sunday and the bad slate of games, I mean, stays. The Outman shows up. I try my best, Devin. Try my best. Prolific says he had a 2-0 day yesterday, caught the Blazers slipping against the Timberwolves. There was a couple big dogs yesterday who just kind of let go of the rope, and the Blazers were definitely one. The Bulls were one. The Wizards were one. 11 legs, boy, that's more than a spider, Elijah. But I'm sad about that. I'm not surprised that you missed an 11-leg parlay, but that does suck. Anthony says, "What's up, peeps? This Christian Braun is printing money lately. Getting on the train. Started for the Nuggets, and the books have not caught up. I just need to write that down, put that in my notes." JB says, "I finally jumped on the Portland train and they lost." Yeah, they were actually winning that game for a large part. And then for whatever reason, I was looking at some Minnesota stuff last night, beat writer stuff, and they've been like the best fourth quarter team over the last, I think, like 4 games. Doesn't matter who they have on the floor. Last 4 games, I think they're like a plus 45 in the fourth quarter or something like that. So they absolutely been doing what they're supposed to do. I think Portland got outscored by 24 points or 22 points or something like that in the fourth quarter last night. It's absolutely crazy. Anthony says Celtics was a rocking chair, easiest bet of the season. We talked about that yesterday as well. That was a really good look yesterday. Celtics with some good money. Donovan says, top of the morning, Chris and whole crew. DK says, where you at? I'm headed to church, man. Don't watch the stream in church, man. Do not watch the stream in church. It'll be live afterwards. Definitely be live afterwards. What's up, Brian? Top of the morning says, good morning, Chris. Saturday was good. Thank you for your help. How about them Lakers? AR had a career night yesterday. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. So let's find some winners today. Good morning to my guy, Mark. He says, nice bounce back yesterday. Let's keep it going. No one never really knows if Joel Embiid is going to play. And even if he suits up and he goes out on the floor, we have no idea if he's going to play either or have an impact. Swerve. No idea. What up to my guy, Justin? What up, Frank? Let's jump into it. Good morning, Tasha. Appreciate you as well. Let's jump into it for today, though. We got 3 games and we got NFL. It's a million comments. I'm not going to be able to make it through all of them, but I do appreciate all the comments in the chat. And let me know what y'all think about Let me know what y'all think about the Super Bowl. We will get there when we get there, but I am interested in hearing who people are betting on for the Super Bowl as far as teams go. Let's jump into jaXon really quickly though. So jaXon is your AI sports betting buddy / handicapper / cheat sheet, whatever you want to call it. Another winner from jaXon yesterday. jaXon like Dallas minus the 2.5. I got a little gun shy. I just played the money line, but another winner for jaXon. I think that's 7 of the last 8 jaXon have picked out have been winners. So yeah, check jaXon out if you're interested. Player prop sides, totals, NBA, NFL, you name it. jaXon can give you some analysis, save you a bunch of time and energy on what it is that you want to bet. So the prompt that I asked jaXon for today was I'm interested in the Raptors plus the 9. I think that's a little bit too many points in my opinion, and I got my reasons why. But let's see if jaXon agrees. So let's see. The prompt was just Rockets or Raptors against the spread. And jaXon says, based on the stats and the trends, I recommend taking the Raptors. Okay. So Raptors plus 9 against the spread. Here's why. So we got a nice little chart, as I always say, both teams records straight up against the spread, point spread, points scored per game, points allowed per game, and in recent form, both teams in bad recent form. 0-5 for the Rockets, 1-4 for the Raptors. So why the Raptors plus 9 is a stronger bet? The Raptors have been 30, 21-1 against the spread this season, which is one of the best ATS records in the league. They're 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games, showing consistency in covering spreads even when losing outright. Toronto has covered 7 of their last 10 games as underdogs, including a recent 12-point loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they covered an 18.5 point spread. Rockets' recent struggles, 6-game losing streak, including a 116-105 loss to the Mavericks yesterday. This game is the second game of a back-to-back for the Rockets, which could lead to fatigue. The Rockets have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 games, and their recent form 0-5 against the number raises concerns about their ability to be able to dominate. Injury depth. The Rockets are missing key players like Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith Jr., which could impact their offensive and defensive efficiency. This was the same thing jaXon said yesterday about why he liked Dallas. The Raptors are also dealing with injuries, but their depth has allowed them to remain competitive despite missing Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, and Jakob Poeltl. They've shown resilience in recent games. So then you got Raptors road performances. While Toronto has been a poor straight-up team on the road, 4-20, they're 13-11 against the number on the road this season. They've been able to keep games close, even against stronger teams. Sharp picks in public betting. Sharp bettors slightly favor the Raptors to cover 50.23% of sharp money on Toronto plus 9. Additionally, 53% of public bettors are backing the Raptors on the spread. So I don't really pay too much attention to that, but that is in there. So yeah, pick the recommendation is Raptors plus 9. The Raptors have been reliable against the spread, even in tough matchups. While with the Rockets struggling and playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, Toronto has a strong chance to cover the plus 9 on the spread here. So I like the Raptors today. I love that jaXon likes the Raptors. I see that there is a 9.5 still available, and I'm probably going to end up playing that. Probably be my other bet of the day. I haven't looked into many player props, but if there's a question about one, I can give you some insight on what I'm looking at specifically. So let me know if you guys have questions on any of the player props, like in any of the games, actually. And then let's jump into it. Like I said, that is jaXon, your AI sports betting buddy. Check jaXon out, man. Referral code in the description of the video, or just use ChrisBeCappinn and get yourself 50% off when you sign up. You'll definitely make some money. Sometimes it takes some money to make some money, though. So you got to sign up. I still see a plus 9.5. I also see a plus 8.5. So I feel like I kind of want to move on the Raptors right now. I know the game starts at 2. Kind of feel like I want to move on the Raptors now. Let's jump into it for today, though. First game up, we got the Hornets and the Pistons. This line has moved now to 11. I want to say, I'm not even sure what it opened up as, because I've been I see 9.5. I'm not even sure though. I don't know what this opened up as. I've been kind of late. I haven't been doing my early due diligence as I have been recently for majority of the season. Last couple of days I've been kind of slacking with being able to get to these numbers just because I've been having so much going on. But I see 11 right now, and that's because LaMelo Ball has been downgraded to questionable with the ankle injury. He has popped up on the injury report here. And outside of LaMelo, I'm not sure if he's gonna play. I think that suggests this close to the game though, like less than 2 hours to the game. He's probably not gonna play. We typically don't see these go the opposite way, but I'm just speculating. He hasn't been rolled out yet. The lines have moved though. And then Nick Smith Jr. is also listed as questionable in this game. He's been the guy that's been absolutely been scoring a lot for them recently. You got Josh Green already out. Nurkic, who was traded there, is listed as questionable. Who knows if he's going to play? Mark Williams' trade was rescinded yesterday from the Lakers. Who knows if he's going to play today? And then Josh Okogie is still out. On the Detroit side of things, pretty healthy team. Cade didn't play in that game against Philly on Friday. He is listed as probable. He should be out there. And Jaden Ivey is the only person that's missing. So this is the last matchup between the two teams. Charlotte has actually won. They won the first two as a dog. And they've actually covered all three against the Detroit Pistons. For whatever reason, this Charlotte team gives Detroit problems. If you remember back, it was the first game, I think, was the game that Brandon Miller hit that. They probably should have lost that game. He hit the shot off the backboard, like he got the tip in off the backboard, with pretty much like an air ball, and they won the game at the buzzer. And then I remember Detroit having revenge in the next game, still couldn't get the job done. And like I said, they did win the third game, but I'm not even sure if LaMelo played in that one. And now this is the game number 4. I'm not laying this many points. That's what this really comes down to. I'm not laying this many points with Detroit. They have been a little bit better recently. 6 straight home game for them. You like to see that. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games. Got a really big win against Philly as a 5.5 point dog the other day without Cade Cunningham. Beat them by 13 points. But I can't do it, man. I cannot do it. They do play. They got tomorrow off, and then they play in Chicago on Tuesday. Now, Charlotte hasn't been great either. They're 2-8 straight up, 5-4-1 against the number. Without LaMelo, they've still been covering spreads, though. They did beat San Antonio by 1 as a 9.5 point home dog on Friday. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games as well. So both of these teams have been actually covering the number. It is the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. So I looked into it. I played the under as soon as I saw LaMelo was listed as questionable. I'm thinking that means that he's not going to play. You can still get, I think, 220. It was at 225.5. It looks like right now it is 220. It's still 225. No, it's 225.5. So gone. It's 224.5 on ESPN Bet and on Caesars. And I guess you can kind of wait on the news. I'm just at a mindset that Charlotte's going to play a lot slower without LaMelo if he doesn't play. And it's not like I really trust Detroit's defense. I put this in the Discord, but their defense has been god-awful when they've been a favorite. They're 6-3-1 to the over if Detroit has been a favorite this season. Only 3 of their opponents have actually stayed under their team total. In Detroit defensively, it's not like they're playing great right now. I could put some numbers to that as well. I look at Charlotte offense without LaMelo, and it's super simple for me. They have a 115 offensive rating with LaMelo on the floor, and they have a 104 offensive rating without LaMelo on the floor. It's really that simple. That's the only thing I needed to see, and I already knew that off the top of my head. I didn't know the exact numbers, but I knew it was something like that. So real quick, just looking at Detroit, because like I said, I know they're not in the greatest form right now. These matinee games can potentially go early, can go under early too. So they're not bad though. Detroit last 5 games, 10th in defensive rating. They got a 115.4 defensive rating. Offensive rating is 7th as well, 6th in pace. Charlotte's 23rd in pace last 5 games. On the road, Charlotte is 13th in pace, so they do play a little bit faster on the road. You don't like to see that. But their offense without LaMelo should really stink in this game, I'm thinking. So we'll see what happens if LaMelo doesn't play. If LaMelo does play, probably end up buying out of this, but I don't think that LaMelo's going to play, and I like the under a little bit more than anything else. As far as the spread, no way I'm laying this many points. I think when I looked at Charlotte as a road dog this season, getting double digits, only 1-4 straight up, but only 1-6 straight up, 3-4 against the number though. And they've covered 3 of their last 4 in this spot. So they lost to the Grizzlies by 12, getting 11.5. So they only failed to cover that by 1. But before that, they had actually covered against the Cavs, covered against the Sixers, covered against the Pacers. So yeah, that's my thought process on this game. Detroit's by far the better team. No way I'm laying this many points this close to, the Super Bowl, this close to All-Star weekend. None of that. I think Charlotte can keep it close. So those are my thoughts. Let's see what we have in the chat here. So we got some Eagles love from Justin. Appreciate you, Adam, for tapping in. Glad you had a good night last night. Brad says Hornets fan here. Curious for your take on Mark Williams news. So my take on the Mark Williams news, what I was reading last night, as I see that David Roddy signed a 10-day contract with the 76ers, they trying to get everybody in Philly. Oh, wow. Giannis out. He's going to miss at least a week. Won't play in the All-Star game. That's pretty cool. Somebody else will be able to take his spot in the All-Star game. There was a lot of people in the Eastern Conference that got snubbed, so somebody will be in there, which is cool. Yeah, but my take, it was something about like his physical or something, Brad. He didn't, like, his physical didn't go through, but it wasn't like his back is what I read. I think it came from Shams. I got mixed feelings about it because I do like the Lakers of course need a center. I guess you got to call Dwight Howard, see if he's signing free agency, because I think the Lakers can't even get anybody out. The buyout market is what I was reading into as well. I mean, but the Lakers desperately need a center. Like Jackson Hayes not gonna do it. So you're gonna have to figure out how to fill that void immediately. I think the front office from the Lakers with Rob Pelinka is trying their best to appease. This is my thought process. They're trying to appease Luka as much as they possibly can because Luka is, the franchise. Like they want the franchise to be around him. They're gonna do everything they can to try to re-sign him. And without a big man, it kind of limits what the Lakers are gonna be able to do. But if they keep playing with that same energy and effort, it'll be good in the regular season. I'm not sure how good it'll be in the postseason. So got to find a way to get a big man. I am happy that we get Dalton Knecht back. Hopefully Dalton Knecht doesn't feel too slighted by us trying to trade him. Because I can imagine how, I know you understand it's a business, but you're also a rookie. So it's probably like, man, everybody passed up on me on the draft. Got a lot to prove. Now the Lakers finally take me, but then they trade me, but then I come back. So it's a lot of mixed feelings I'm thinking for Dalton Knecht, but I like Dalton Knecht. So I'm actually like, I think long term it won't be too bad of a recension. I didn't really want Mark Williams based on his work ethic and his injury status. Like he missed too many games for me. So I wasn't too upset about that. Let's see. What are you guys thinking here? What sites do you use to bet? All of them. Every single one that I can get access to, I bet on. And yeah, every single one of them I can get access to. Let's see what you guys are thinking in the comments here. Let's see. Brian says finally favors won yesterday. So many money line parlays worked. I don't like laying a lot of points. Houston bounced back. So we'll talk about that game. I don't think so. What up, Burns? Oh my God. JFX says Pistons minus 11.5 today. It's crazy talk if LaMelo plays. And I think if LaMelo don't play, you'll probably end up getting a 12.5. I put that in the Discord. I think the line's going to continue to move. So we'll see how it goes. But he has been downgraded. He's not officially out yet. Let's see. Toronto been playing crappy and haven't covered a lot. Covered the spread last 5 games backwood. Detroit second quarter, GLB says. Good morning, Nayeli. She says Jackson cashed. He becoming my sugar daddy. Oh man. Let's see. Do you agree? John says that early games like these tend to go under. I do agree, John. They either go way over, like we see this touch 250, and I don't think that's gonna happen with Charlotte, but you do got Detroit coming off a big win as a home dog. So I would say Detroit probably doesn't play as well coming off a big favorite as a dog. Let's see what that trend looks like this season. Pistons, if they're coming off a home win as a dog, they are. Let's see if they follow up success with more success. If they previously won their last game as a dog, they're 2-3 straight up, 2-3 against the spread, 4-1 to the over. So yeah, their defense typically lets up in this spot. 4 of their opponents have actually gone up and over their team total. There's been 4 straight too. The Bucks scored 127 off the Pistons winning as a dog. The Jazz scored 126. I remember that game off them winning as a dog. The Blazers got to 115. The Bulls got to 119. So 4 straight overs, 4 straight opponent team totals overs. The Pistons don't perform as well in this spot, John. So it should be an under, but I mean, we see crazy things happen all the time. I'm not Like I didn't go super crazy on the total. It's not even official play because I knew the number was going to move before I could give it out. But I did put a little bit on the under here. Brian says he likes Cade over his 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The number should be close. Let's see. Definitely on Durant today. Points plus rebounds, Adam says. Adam says he took the under as well. Got 227 last night. Detroit basketball, AOD says. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Let's see. What else? Pistons smack City spot, AOD says. Niley says this is a wait and see if LaMelo plays. Hornets plus 11 and a sprinkle on the money line. Usually when spreads go up like this, the underdogs typically cover, and I agree with that. I'm thinking the same thing, 77 figures. Maybe Trey can get in. It's a couple other people that got snubbed too, though, right? I can't remember exactly who they were, but it's a couple other people that got snubbed for sure. Maxey got snubbed. I had them written down on my phone. I can't remember everybody though, but there's a couple people who got snubbed. Brian says Dalton just became a Laker again. That's one happy man. I would hope so. I mean, who wants to play in Charlotte? I love LaMelo, but who wants to really play in Charlotte, man? Yep, 4-1, Tasha, last 5. She says lately they've been covering. All right, let's move over to the next game, man. Oh, let's see. Victor says that stat yesterday was 19-3 against the spread when teams win. When teams win a team, I think even when teams beat a team twice straight up and they are way underdogs. Okay. Natalie says, Chris, what's your take on Ben Simmons potentially being bought out on the Nets contract? Bro, Ben Simmons gonna have to prove it to me. He's gonna have to prove it to me. I think Ty Lue gonna have that dude sitting on the bench filling, Gatorade orders for Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Norman Powell. Man, I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. I think I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. And I'm trying to be nice. So let's go to the next one. Sixers and the Bucks is up next. This line, I think I saw this at 5 last night when the news was first broke that Giannis was going to be out. This was at 5. It was only available in a couple books, but it was at 5 yesterday. The Bucks were laying 5 points, and now they are 2.5. Looks like the line is still moving. This is moving to 2.5 now. Is it because of injury news? Did we get anything? Because I didn't see anything. Y'all let me know if y'all see anything. This is based on the Giannis news? Because he was already out. Let's see. Underdog David Wright. Nah, nothing else. I don't see anything that happened. But the Philadelphia 76ers laying points on the road. That sounds scary and make me want to cover my eyes when I think about that. This is a team that, boy, you talk about dropping the basketball. Man, they dropped the ball in that last game against the Detroit Pistons on Friday night. They got absolutely steamrolled by the Detroit-less, by the Cade Cunningham Detroit-less, the Cade Cunningham-less Detroit Pistons. I mean, that was pretty bad, man. So the spot actually does set up here well for Philly. I'm not putting my hard-earned money on the Philadelphia 76ers, though. Like, I can't talk anybody else off of it. I'm not doing it. So you got Giannis out. Embiid is listed as questionable. Yabusele is also listed as probable for the Philadelphia 76ers. And for the Philadelphia 76ers. And then Pat Connaughton, I think, is listed as probable. He's listed as questionable with a calf injury. But Bobby Portis is back now. These are two teams that, in my opinion, are both really kind of stunk it up. The Bucks have owned this matchup, though. This is the third matchup this season. They've won and covered both games so far this season against Philly. Granted, both of those games had Giannis in them. And 6 straight wins. The Bucks have beaten this Philly team 6 straight times going back to last season. They've covered 5 of the 6 spreads as well. For Philly, back-to-back losses. They lost to Miami when they were at home last week or earlier this week. And like I said, the last one was pretty embarrassing. They were down by, I don't even know what the biggest lead was in that last game on Friday, but I know they were like, that was like bottom of the barrel type loss when I'm watching them play on Friday. The way Detroit, just kind of did whatever they wanted to do to them on Friday. That was pretty bad. I really want to find out what was the biggest lead in that game with them on Friday real quick. I just wanted to see what that lead was. Let's see. The biggest lead was, excuse me, 34. They were down by 34. They lost the game by 13, but they were down by 34 points. to a Cade Cunningham-less Detroit Pistons team. It's hard for me to overlook that, man. Even if I want to take Philly, bounce back spot, all that good stuff, man, I'm I don't want anything to do with Philly, man. I really don't. The Bucks haven't been good either, though. This is the first game back home after a 3-game road trip. They lost to Atlanta as a 2.5-point favorite on Friday. They played 3 straight unders. The offense is kind of falling off a cliff without Joel Embiid. They failed to cover 6 straight games. Have the Bucks. They're only 2-7 against the spread in their last 9, and it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Golden State Warriors coming to town tomorrow. They've also traveled a lot. The 7 of their last 8 games have been on the road, nine different gyms in a row. Like, I have no idea. I know it's an ESPN game. I don't know what to tell you with this one, man. Looking at the stats, if we don't know if Joel Embiid is going to play. If he does play, I'm guessing it's a Philly spot. I can't put my money on Philly, though. The Bucks have been god-awful. Offensive rating, 3rd worst last 5 games. Defensive rating, 5th worst last 5 games. 2nd worst efficiency differential team, getting outscored by about 12 points per 100 possessions. 13th in pace. The Philadelphia 76ers, I guess, a little bit better offensively. They are 10th. Defensively, they've been struggling. 27th in defensive rating, playing at a bottom 6 pace in the NBA. Like, these are 2 teams that I don't want to bet on right now, man, especially on a Sunday. I know it's an ESPN game. It starts in about 2 hours. Not anything I wanted to do with this game, though. Like, even from a player prop perspective, especially without knowing if Joel Embiid is going to play or not. So, easy pass for me here. I really can't even give you recommendations. I want to say under, though. That's what I really want to say. I want to say under because I expect the Bucks defense to play a little bit better at home. We talk about Bucks on the road versus at home. Last 3 games have been on the road. Their defense has been trash. On the road, they are 23rd in defensive rating, but at home, they are the 7th best defensive rated team. You got Kyle Kuzma there. Not that that's going to help out the defense, but you got Kyle Kuzma there. I kind of want to go under, just thinking that the Bucks are going to have to play defense. They also playing at a pretty slow pace. The Philadelphia 76ers playing at a pretty slow pace. If Joel Embiid comes back, that should slow the pace down as well. So I kind of want to go under, but it's a game where I'll happily be on the sideline, and I'll root you guys on, whatever it is that you're betting. I want nothing to do with this game. Let's see if we got thoughts and comments, man. I know somebody got some bets. It won't be me, though. Let's see. What up, Big? Appreciate you for tapping in. I think he loves Charlotte, D. I really think LaMelo likes Charlotte. I think it's out the way. Like, Charlotte is a nice city if you've ever been there, too. Like, I think it's plenty of stuff for him to do down there. Like, he just be living his own life, chilling. I think he likes Charlotte, man. I could be totally wrong, though. But LaMelo strikes me as somebody, he never seems like he wants to leave Charlotte. I could be totally wrong, though. He might want to dip, but yeah. Adam says Nick June's out. So he's not confirmed out. He's questionable. I'm with you, buddy. I don't like to bash people, man, but I'm not a Simmons guy. Not a Simmons guy at all. Rome says Portis over his points, rebounds, and assists. Now, this could be a good look. Little Bobby Portis love. Philly is not doing the greatest job of guarding the rim, and B coming back defensively has been pretty bad. So I could see some Bobby Portis love, especially without what is Bobby Portis numbers today? Let's see real quick. Bobby Portis. Matter of fact, let's just go over the Outlier together. Let's do it together. We're a team. Let's team tag Outlier real quick. Let's see. So link in the description, of course, as it always is for Outlier. You can get a 7-day free trial if you're interested in signing up. Let's go over to Outlier, look at Mr. Bobby Portis for today. See if his numbers are too inflated to take him against this Philly team. So, So you can see the injury information is here. Antetokounmpo is slated to return to the game shortly after the All-Star break. So, yeah, he's going to be out. So, Bobby Portis, this is his – what are we looking at? Probably points plus rebounds, I would think. So, points plus rebounds back-to-back, 40 and 41. I like that. 23 and 17 and 26 and 15. Ooh, okay. So points plus rebounds is at 30 and a half. If we filter this to the full season, we can see that he has not hit this a lot, which it makes sense, right? Only 14% of his games, only 6 of his 44 games so far this season. But that's probably because Giannis has played, right? So if we filter games without Giannis, he's played in 8. He's hit the over in 5 of those 8 games, 4 of the last 6. I like that. I like that a lot. Need to do some more digging though. I need to see some other stuff. But I'll write Bobby Portis points plus rebounds over 30.5 down in my short list. Pretty sure people that got to this and bet it up. Looks like it was open at 30.5, bet down to 29.5, 30.5, 29.5. So a lot of back and forth in the market. But yeah, Bobby Portis makes sense to me. 32.5 minutes without Embiid. Without Giannis. Let's see, 32.5 minutes without him on the full season. He's averaging just 25. So about 7 more minutes. I like it. I like it a lot. I got to look into it a little bit more though. I need to cross reference it, but that makes sense. Appreciate you, Ron. I hadn't thought about this game from a player prop perspective. I actually don't even want to think about the game in general, but try to give y'all something, man. Like I said, I lean under. Full game under, Benjamin says. He leans that way. Brian says Maxey points if Joel Embiid doesn't play. Yeah, boy. Bobby Portis. A lot of people like him, Portis. Watson says, what about Kuzma points? What is Kuzma listed at right now? Let's see. How did he play? Because I saw him check in the other day, but I think I went to get up and do something, and I was trying to watch all the games at the same time. I don't think I ever really looked back at it. Kyle Kuzma. 14.5 for Kuz over on ESPN bet. Juice to the over at -125. He's up to 15.5 on some books. How aggressive was Kuzma in that first game that he played? Because Giannis didn't play, right? And that was against, who was that? That was against Charlotte the other night. Let's see. Mr. Kuzma. He had it was against Atlanta, my fault. He had 12. He played 24 minutes, shot 4 for 13. Jesus Christ, Kuzma. Oh my gosh, bro. You can't shoot 4 for 13 against Atlanta. Like, we're gonna have to do a little bit better. But if he gonna get 13 shot attempts, especially without Giannis, you're looking for, pretty much a point per shot. I don't know, man. I just don't want to put my hard-earned money on Kuzma. I need to see him get acclimated, but don't let me talk you off, Watson. That's what I'll say about that. G Loco says he likes Kuzma over his boards. Yeah, not looking towards the Sixers, man. I'm not looking towards them. What up, Chad? Appreciate you for tapping in. PG under 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Chad says he likes Maxey points first quarter and full game. What's Maxey listed at? Chad, I'm interested to know. Do you care if Embiid plays or not? If you're still in the comments, do you care if he plays or not? I see 28.5 on Hard Rock and on BetMGM, 29.5 on most other books. I know Maxey has been hooping. Tasha says she'll play Philly team total up and over 114.5. Maxey's the only reason this team isn't the Wizards. Oh man, that sounds like a fact. Man. They are bad, boy. GLB says Bucks 0-4 at home after losing as a favorite, but this game is a pass. Right there, it's a pass for sure. Let's see what else we got. My phone going crazy. Did we get any updates? So Mark Williams has been ruled out, uncertain to rejoin Hornets by Monday. Bro, how long it take to fly? What, like using LA? How long it take to get there? All right, neither here nor there. I digress. Let's see. Cam Whitmore over his points for Forever Royal. I like Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore makes a lot of sense, Forever Royal. We'll get to that game in just a second. Adam says Kuz was not good. He's been coming off the bench. Saw that. Let's see. Dame rebounds and assists for Brandon. Oh, he's asking. I don't know. I don't really want to go too deep into it. Rome says Kuzma's banned. Cal says don't give a damn if Embiid plays or not. Finn likes Dame over his rebounds and assists. Seems like a couple people like Dame Lillard over rebounds and assists. I'll look into this. I don't want to go too long on the show specifically over this game, but there's a couple things that stand out to me. I like the Portis points plus rebounds, so I'll write that down. And then Dame over his rebounds and assists, but I probably not gonna play this if I'm being honest. What else? Can we check Philly's 3-point defense? Adam says. Yes, I can look at that. That'll take me 5 seconds. So Philly's 3-point defense. Let's see. So Philly on the full season, 8th worst 3-point defense in the NBA, and they allow the 5th most threes. Teams are shooting 40.3% of their shots at the 3-point line against this Philadelphia defense. And Philly is allowing teams to shoot 37% from the 3-point line, 37.2. Last 5 games, though, Philly has actually been not better. Their rating is better, but they're 38%. Teams are shooting 38%, and they are allowing the 9th most threes, 39.6% of their opponent's shots are coming from the 3-point line. And that's where the Bucks like to shoot the ball from, right? They're 10th and above the break three, 13th in overall 3-point frequency, 2nd in overall 3-point accuracy, shooting 39.5% last 5 games, shooting 39.5% as well, which is 10th. And they're shooting the 4th most threes last 5 games. There you go, Adam. So yeah, the Bucks should be able to take advantage from the 3-point line in this spot. Mark, he definitely took a vacation, Charles. He definitely took a vacation. He out there in the palm trees, man. He's not trying to go back to cold Charlotte. I understand now. I get it. Nobody is going to be guarding him, Chad. I'm right there with you. I couldn't disagree with that look at all with the Maxey over his points prop. All right, let's go over to the last game we got. Like I said, I lean Raptors. I didn't do a deep dive into it, but if you remember back to yesterday, if you watched the show yesterday, it was a couple spots, and I'm kicking myself and not betting. It was a couple spots that I said were absolute fade spots, right? It's just like the systems that I run are like they're hitting about 60% if I write them down and put them in my notes. And the ones yesterday was San Antonio. Well, San Antonio actually covered, but it was San Antonio with 6 games and 9 nights, no rest, equal. It's a fade spot. It was 7 games and 11 nights for San Antonio. The other one was Phoenix. It was 6 games and 9 nights, and they got absolutely murdered last night without Kevin Durant and without Bradley Beal. And then there was also one that I had on the Clippers team total to go over, and I didn't end up pulling the trigger. They got to 130 last night, and the team total was 120.5. I say all that to go back to today's game. That's the spot that the Raptors are actually in. The Rockets are in today, and I will play this. I haven't played it yet, but it's a spot fade, right? I know that the Raptors have been pretty. The Raptors have been pretty bad, and they're going to be shorthanded in this game as well. If you look at the injury report, I know Jakob is going to continue to miss the game, and they're also going to be without RJ Barrett. Of course, PJ Tucker and Brandon Ingram are the new additions. Those guys aren't going to play either. And then for the Houston Rockets, though, they also got like this lot. The list just keep growing. We know Fred VanVleet is not there. We know Jabari Smith Jr. is still suffering with that fractured hand. Steven Adams got ruled out earlier. Tari Eason got ruled out early. So this is a Rockets team. I'm sorry. This is a Rockets team that, in my opinion, is a strength by numbers type team. They still got a bunch of guys, but now you're starting Aaron Holiday at point guard potentially. Jalen Green's still there. Min Thompson is still there. Dylan Brooks is still there. Sengun is still there. But you don't have as much depth, in my opinion. So both of these teams going to be a little short-handed. I think I'll take the points here, man. The spot for the Rockets today is 5th game in 7 nights. It's also 6 games. If you've listened to this program, you know what 5th game in 7 nights mean. It don't mean that it's going to absolutely win, but most of the time you want to fade these teams playing 5th game in 7 nights. It's also 6 game in 9 nights with no rest. The same exact spot that the Phoenix Suns were in last night and the San Antonio Spurs were in last night as well. So if Houston, gets up by 20 because they are coming off a couple losses in a row, live bet Toronto. I think I'm going to take Toronto before the game starts, though. The second matchup of the season, Houston did go into Toronto, win the game earlier, 114-110 in Toronto, but they were laying 9. Very similar number. We're laying 9. Didn't cover that spread. It did go over, too, over 222.5. And the total between these two teams are 7-3 to the over. For Toronto, second straight road game. They've lost 3 of their last 4 of their last 5 after winning 5 games in a row. They've also gone over in 4 straight games after going under in 4 straight games. So the offense has the defense have actually, kind of taken a tailspin. And a lot of that has to do without Jakob being there. He is the last part of defense is being able to rebound the basketball. They cannot rebound the basketball as well without jaXon. And that's what kind of has me on the fence and why I haven't taken this bet yet. If we remember back, we rewind like 1 week ago. Let me just get Houston up here real quick. If we rewind one week ago, Toronto was the #1 defensive team in the NBA. Last 5 games, Toronto is the 3rd worst defensive team in the NBA. 28th in defensive efficiency, a 127.2 is their defensive rating over the last 5 games. They're not doing anything well, honestly. Offensively, they've kind of, without RJ Barrett out there to facilitate, they haven't done well either. 20th in offensive efficiency, playing super slow. 5th slowest paced team, but there has been against the 3rd strongest strength of schedule. If we look at Toronto's recent games, I know they just got smoked against OKC, but they did cover. Let's see. If we just look at their last 5 games, the Raptors got smoked by Thunder. They lost to the Grizzlies. We were on the Grizzlies in that spot. Then they played the Knicks. These are all top 5 seeds. They also played the Clippers. They beat the Clippers and lost to the Bulls. Tell me how you do that. How you beat the Clippers and lose to the Bulls. But I digress. Last 5 games, Thunder, Grizzlies, Knicks, Clippers, and Bulls. So they have played a very, very tough strength of schedule. You look at the Rockets, on top of this being 5th game in 7 nights, 6th game in 9 nights, and no rest. Defensively, really struggling. 21st in defensive efficiency. Offense has not been there either. Actually, the 5th worst offense in the last 5 games. Coming back home should help a little bit. I still think that it's going to be a big fatigue spot. I think 9.5, 9 is too many points. This did open at 10. I like the Raptors today. I do think that they can get the job done, keep this game within 4 possessions. I do think so. So that's actually my favorite spread bet. Haven't placed it yet though, but that's the way I'm looking. As far as the total goes, I do lean towards the over. The only thing that scares me from playing the over is the pace for both of these teams. The Raptors are, I just said it, 26th in pace last 5 games. The Rockets are actually 29th in pace last 5 games. They're the 2nd slowest paced team last 5 games. They've also played a really strong strength of schedule, 10th in strength of schedule. But the Raptors, like I said, 3rd in strength of schedule. So, yeah, I like the Toronto Raptors plus the points. As far as player props, I think Amin makes a lot of sense. He's one of the young Bulls. I'll probably be looking towards him. I just mentioned the Raptors are not a great rebounding team, especially without jaXon. I feel like they get absolutely dominated on the glass in this spot, and that's the one thing that scares me off the spread as well. But yeah, the only way I'm looking in this game is plus the points, man. Let's see what you guys are thinking as well, and then we'll get into NFL, and then we'll do a quick recap. Let's see. I think I went back too far. All right, here we go. Cal says, put Kuzma on Maxey, please. Pretty please. Sugar on top. GLB says, Houston 3rd quarter spread away from laptop now. So I don't know what the current number is, but I got 2.5. So thinking the Rockets come out flat potentially early, and then you can take them in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if we can find that real quick. 3rd quarter point spread. Excuse me. So the Raptors, you can still get a 2.5 right now. 2.5 is -108 on FanDuel right now. And it's 2.5 everywhere except DraftKings. DraftKings got a -3. But the best number is on FanDuel. And to this point from GLB, I just want to say this real quick. There was a couple teams yesterday dogs yesterday, like I don't know if they were public dogs or not, but a couple dogs yesterday that came in and absolutely did their job. You would have thought that they were going to win the game and cover the spread yesterday, and then they absolutely got steamrolled in the 3rd quarter. So the favorites, for whatever reason, have not been covering. And I don't know how, I'm not going to date this trend, but I know a lot of these teams yesterday were covering up until the 4th quarter started, and then got absolutely steamrolled in the 3rd quarter. Let's see. The Wizards were covering, I think, into the 3rd quarter. Lost to the Hawks by 16 points. The Bulls were covering until the 3rd quarter started. Lost the 4th quarter by 17 points. Trailblazers were covering. 3rd quarter started. They lost the 3rd quarter by 5 points. The Suns were covering, I think. Yeah, the Suns were covering. Lost the third quarter by 11 points. The Pelicans were covering, lost the third quarter by 23 points. Still ended up getting that backdoor cover, though. Said there was way too many points for the Kings yesterday. And then the Jazz were covering too. Lost the third quarter by 36 points. So for whatever reason, the favorites have not been starting the games off strong, but they have been better second half teams. So I couldn't talk you off of this, GLB. I think it makes sense. Chad says my Rockets are not my Rockets without Van Fleet, and I agree with that. Jalen Green over his 2.5 threes, quickly over 5.5 assists. I think Amin is a buy on spot, Adam. I'm actually gonna write his name down. I want to look a little bit deeper into Amin as well. I just think he's young, so he's gonna play, the minutes. And now you take out. I know you still got Sengun, but now you take out Steven Adams. I think that's more minutes for him. Jeff Green might see the floor a little bit too, but I think Amin is gonna play his normal. He's been getting close to 40 minutes. We know one thing about Udoka, even this days going back to coaching Boston, he don't mind leaving his players out there. He don't mind playing them. And both of the twin brothers are very, very active, and they're very, very they're in very, very good shape, like the conditioning wise. So Amin, real quick, let's see. His points prop is at 17.5. He had 20 yesterday in Dallas. 17.5 kind of steep though, but I like it because Steven Adams not gonna be there. Last 10 games, he's averaging 38 minutes per game. He played 37 yesterday, 33 against Minnesota, 40 against Brooklyn, 37 against the Knicks, 40 against Brooklyn. So yeah, the minutes gonna be there, man. I like him in today. I just gotta figure out if it makes sense though. Just because I like it don't mean anything. 27.5 is his points plus rebounds. Yeah, this is not a good rebounding team. I think I like his rebounds too, but yeah, I like that, Adam. Rome says if I go Houston, it would be Sengun points or his rebounds, and that makes a lot of sense. It could be a big Sengun game. I'm not sure who's going to guard him for the Raptors today. Adam says he likes the +9. Let's see. Quickly for saturated points last 5 games versus the Raptors, 25, 25, 40, 27, and 24. However, his points last 4 games, 6, 9, 11, and 14. Thoughts, Chris? I don't really have any saturated. I'll say because I haven't really watched the Raptors play as much. I watched the game that I bet against them, against the Grizzlies 2 games ago, but I haven't really watched them as much. Who's going to be guarding them? I just feel like the Rockets coming back home, probably going to try to play. They're going to be locked in defensively, especially coming off 4 straight losses. So I guess I would lean towards the under. I don't even know what the line is, but I'm not sure if Quickly has a good game today or not. I'm not sure if Quickly. I don't have any burning thoughts saturated. Sorry about that. Chad says this Raptors are nothing, but can't bet against a desperate team. Do Raps even want to win? No center, you can't do it. Yeah, but you don't have to win though, Chad. You don't have to win to be getting 10, right? And that's the way I kind of think about it. It's like they can keep it within the 10. That's just my thought. Rockets team total over, man. He says I do lean a little bit more towards the over. Trevor Roy says probably fading the Rockets to after the All-Star break. Men points plus rebounds only prop I remotely like. I agree with that, Chad. Scotty Barnes rebounds for Tasha. She likes him over 7.5. Nally says Raptors +7. Rockets to win. Brian likes Raptors +9. Backdoor cover Sunday. I hope so if I bet it. Live spot have been great second half, and I agree with that as well, Chad. These teams been coming out super lackadaisical recently. Brian says Golden State did it twice against the Lakers and against Chicago in the third quarter. I agree with all that. Is LaMelo back in? Let's see. Is LaMelo in? LaMelo ruled out. He is not in. LaMelo ruled out and Nick Smith Jr. ruled out. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure that total is going to continue to drop. Their team total was 107.5. It went down to 106.5. Let's see if the total is still dropping right now. Down to 222.5 now on Circa. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. I did bet the under, but like I said, it's not an official play. Just because just because I knew the number was going to move. I got 225.5 as soon as it happened. Their team total was down to 104.5 on FanDuel, but looks like Bet365 still hanging at 106.5. This is the discrepancy that you get when you look at the OddsJam screen page, the sportsbook screen page. 106.5 to 104.5. There's 2 points of value there. It looks like that did just pop to 105.5. So best team total under is 105.5. I like the full game under. We'll see what happens. Appreciate you, Super Cow. That's ready to say he's like both Thompson brothers today. A Sir over his 2.5 assists, a Min over his points plus rebounds. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm probably going to get there. Maybe a smaller bet on a Sir. All right, let's go over to Benjamin says he got Raptors plus 9. Sengun over his boards. Ladder in this spot. It makes a ton of sense. Him to get some boards makes a lot of sense. Ryan says you cannot trust the most injury reports. They do it on purpose. This is the industry, and I agree with that. Definitely agree with that, which is why I don't make a lot of plays until right before the game starts. So I agree with that. Let's go over to Super Bowl Sunday. I don't even know what Super Bowl it is, but whatever number it is, like 50-something, 50, 60-something close, like 58, 59, whatever it is. It's Super Bowl Sunday, man, and the couple plays that I have here so I really want to get there. I was trying to get somebody to talk me into a first half under. Let me just double check the lines real quick and see where they are. I do kind of feel like it's going to be a defensive game. Both of these teams, pretty good offenses. I think they're going to kind of stall out, and not a lot of scoring is going to be done. The total has dropped though. It's all the way down to 40. It's like 48.5 now. I know it opened 49.5. I think it was, but I really want to play first half under. I think 23.5 is out there, but that's not the play. What I did bet in this game, and it is still available, is actually a better line, I think, than the line that I got, which is cool for anybody that wants to tell. But I like Isaiah Pacheco. I'm betting 2 player props in this game. I like Isaiah Pacheco under his rush attempts. The number is 6.5 on, let me just double check real quick. So rushing attempts for Isaiah Pacheco. Yeah, 6.5 is minus 130. So it is a little juice, but it is 5.5 everywhere else. I think 6.5 is a steal. 6.5 on Bet365 is minus 150. So you're getting a little bit of a discount here. I got this at minus 135, and it's moved 5 cents against me. But I just don't think it's going to be a big Isaiah Pacheco game. Isaiah Pacheco has not, it's been a significant reduction in his workload since he fractured his fibula, which caused him to miss 9 games of the regular season. You look at him in the playoffs, he has only received 5 carries in each of the 2 games. He had a 19% offensive snap rate in the divisional round, and a 31% snap rate in the AFC Championship game. So his limited usage, I went back and looked at it, 14% rush share versus Buffalo 2 weeks ago in his last game, 23% rush share against the Houston Texans, a 30% rush share 3 games ago as well. It's been more Kareem Hunt, and that's what the books are suggesting here. Kareem Hunt rush shares have gone 45, 36, and 49 in his last 3 games. So he's had the large bulk of the rush shares, and I think that we see that again. The Eagles are not the greatest run defense in the NFL, but I think that they will do a really good job of limiting the rush attempts, and I think that they're going to make Patrick Mahomes beat them in this spot. They've also been really, really good against the pass as well. So a lot of this is based on Isaiah Pacheco not looking like himself, also Kareem Hunt playing really, really well, being utilized in the passing game as well. And Samaje Perine. I think Samaje Perine is also going to be out there and going to take some of the snaps as well, specifically in the passing game. So I think that sets up for Isaiah Pacheco to go under on his rush attempts here. I did grab a 6.5 minus 135. Like I said, BetMGM got it at minus 130 right now, so it's even better. Also hearing that Isaiah Pacheco's not fully 100%. Following that earlier knee injury. So that could potentially explain, the reduced workload for him as well, lack of explosion in his recent game. So I don't think he gets 7 carries in this game. I think I would call myself I think that's a sharp play in this game. Isaiah Pacheco under, and I'm cool with laying the -130 juice. I got a -135, like I said. The other play in this game is, and this is a pretty simple handicap. Let me just see what the line has moved to. I did expect this one to move. I didn't check it yet though. Actually, it's still what I got. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. If you've been watching football, and specifically the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, it's not too. This one's pretty self-explanatory. This line opened, I think, at +105, +110. Excuse me. I see it all the way down to -140 on one book, -125 on a couple books, but you can get -115 on FanDuel, and that's what I lock Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown in as. We know that he's a dual threat quarterback who thrives in the red zone, particularly when Philly does the little tush push. He scored 4 rushing touchdowns in 2 playoff games this year, including 3 in the NFC Championship game against my Washington Commanders. In the last Super Bowl against the Chiefs, he also scored 3 rushing touchdowns. Just, kind of showcasing his ability to be able to get in the end zone when they really need him to. So, I mean, we're gonna see a tush push, man. I think that -115 is still a steal here. So I did play Jalen Hurts. Those are the only 2 plays that I locked in on today's slate for the Super Bowl. It's Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown -115. I got it on BetMGM, but FanDuel got it at -115, and then Isaiah Pacheco under his 6.5 rush attempts. Those are my 2 bets. I also considered, and I'm still considering, honestly. I just don't want to have too many bets just in case I want to play something live. But I considered DeAndre Hopkins over his receiving yards. I just kind of feel like, or his longest reception. I just kind of feel like he's going to be that possession receiver that's going to. And I could also consider, and this is the reason why I didn't play it. I don't know which one to play. His longest reception is 9.5. His receiving yards is 11.5, and then his receptions is just 1.5. I kind of feel like there's a trust factor with him and Patrick Mahomes that, especially in clutch situations, I can see them potentially going to him. I know Travis Kelce's out there. I know Xavier Worthy's out there. I do expect both of those guys to have big games as well. But I like what DeAndre Hopkins brings to the table. I think, this could be the only time in his career that he gets to the Super Bowl. I expect him to be fully locked in. I don't expect him to drop any passes. And I think he goes up and over his receiving yards. 11.5 feels like a super low line with a high upside, in my opinion. This is something that could happen in the first quarter. So contemplating on Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, either, like I said, over his receiving yards at 11.5, over his receptions at 1.5, or over on his longest reception at 9.5. I do think he can be, a possession receiver in this game and catch a couple passes. I mean, it's not like I'm needing him to get the 40 yards on, in 3.5 receptions. This is 1.5 and 11.5, and a longest reception of 9.5. And I think all of that could potentially happen for DeAndre Hopkins in this matchup. Even though I know the Eagles have been really good against the pass. I get it. I completely get it. So those are my thought processes on the Super Bowl. Let's see. Oh, and I also lean towards, I didn't bet the side, but I lean towards Kansas City. I know a lot of public money is on sharp money. All of it is on the Eagles. It makes a lot of sense. They weren't able to run the football last time they got to the Super Bowl and played the Kansas City Chiefs. But for whatever reason, the Chiefs just always find a way. That's what they do. They find a way. They win games. Got the greatest quarterback that is in the NFL right now. I just don't think that you bet against that. That's really just how I kind of see it. The Eagles, in my opinion, are really, really good. They beat my Commanders. I think they deserve to be here. Nice, really good defense, really great running game with Saquon Barkley. It just feels like the Chiefs are supposed to win because it feels like the Chiefs are going to win because everybody thinks the Eagles are supposed to win. So that's my quick thought process there. If I had to bet the game, I would take Chiefs on the money line, though. Chiefs on the money line would be my play. Let's go through the comments and see what we're thinking about here. Brian says Kansas City money line. Let's get it. Good luck today, everyone. Tasha likes Kareem Hunt under 43.5 receiving yards. Xavier Worthy under 5.5 receptions. Saquon under 114.5 rushing yards. Eagles money line to win. And Kansas City team total under 24.5. Okay. Chad says, I missed Chad. He says, good luck, guys. I'm on the Chiefs to 3-peat as well. Okay, so Chad likes the Chiefs. Okay. Yeah, I kind of think Chiefs today, man. I do think Chiefs. Teddy says, let's go Eagles. It's fly, Eagles fly. Aaron says, first quarter under, total game over. GLB likes Chiefs as well. He says, I'm not betting against Andy or Mahomes. And that, I think sometimes it's really that simple. A lot of people wanted to fade OKC yesterday. Like, when you see teams doing something really, really good, I get it, it's Super Bowl, and, you got to be on one side or the other. Sometimes you just play it, man. You just ride the hot hand, man. People bet against OKC yesterday. I'm like, what? Bet against OKC. I know they had a rest disadvantage, but I gave you all the numbers. They were 7-3 against the spread. 7-3 straight up on 7-2 straight up unrested. And that's what it kind of feels like. I'm just not betting against them, man. Not betting against Patty Mahomes. And there's a lot of trends. I'm not going through all the trends. There's a lot of trends on, Andy Reid when he has time to prepare, Steve Spagnuolo defense, yada, yada, yada. I'm just not betting against them. Teddy says Eagles going to win by 10 points. Okay. Aaron says Eagles are the better team, but the Chiefs have the better quarterback and coaches. I think it's how you pronounce that. 31 says he likes Pacheco over his 4.5 receiving yards. Okay. Let's go Eagles. Teddy likes those Eagles. He won't stop talking about them. Okay. Let's see. Saturated says OMG. I wanted to fade Pacheco rushing yards. It's only 19.5. Jeez. Yeah. I just played the under rush attempts. Saturated. I don't think he's gonna get the ball a lot. We'll see how that goes though. D Hop anytime touchdown. Watson says his mom's coming and he scored every game she's attended, which is only 6 now. Only 6 now. 7 games. Okay. Tasha says, sorry, Chris, I can't get there with Pacheco. Okay. We could be on the opposite side, or you can stay on the sideline, Tasha. We don't got to be on the same thing. D Loco likes Samaje Perine. I like Samaje a lot too over his receiving yards. So when I do the propcast with he's on Samaje. He likes Samaje a lot today. I think the number is 7.5 for Samaje Perine over his receiving yards, and that makes sense in my opinion. You just need most of the time one catch to get 8 yards. You're not even looking at a first down. Let's see. Eagles tight end over his yards. Talking about Dallas Goedert. That makes a lot of sense. I see a lot of people on Dallas Goedert, even over on his receptions at 4.5, his receiving yards. I can't remember what that number is, or on his longest reception, I think, which is 17.5. He's in a really good spot today. I do think Dallas Goedert is in a good spot. He went crazy against my Commanders as well. GLB got DeAndre Hopkins anytime touchdown at plus 650. Okay. Barkley under. I know that the Chiefs haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season, but if they can hold Saquon from getting one of those long ones, then they probably got a chance. Because, he always gets a long one, it seems like. Every game, he going to break at least a 30, 40, 50, 60-yard rush every single game. Typically ends in a touchdown. Benjamin says, my big play for the Super Bowl today is Dalton G. Anytime touchdown. And over on his receiving yards, and Kelsey anytime touchdown, and over on his receiving yards, got the 4 legs, same game parlay around plus 1,600. Mahomes to throw 2 touchdowns for Rome. Benjamin says, Moda will tell you the Chiefs are number 1 to tight end yards allowed, and in my experience, the bigger the game, the more Mahomes looks for Kelsey. I couldn't agree with that. I couldn't disagree with that. I agree with that, Benjamin. GLB says both defenses to score. Degenerate sprinkle. Let's see. What's the odds for a successful 2-point conversion, Adam? I wouldn't talk you off. Both of these offenses can definitely score. Could not talk you off at all if somebody went for 2. I didn't look into any of those games. I didn't finish the handicap, but I did look into Gatorade color. Some stupid stuff, man. Gatorade color to be orange, I think it's +2. It was 250, +250. Blue was the color in 2023 when the Chiefs won. Orange has been the most common color over the last decade. And then I also looked into, I'm not betting these, but I looked into national anthem as well. I think the length was 2 minutes. I do think that it goes over the 2 minutes for people looking into some of those like niche markets, some of those Super Bowl markets. What up to my guy, Si? What up, bro? Okay. What else? I kind of think about first quarter field goal. No idea for real. No idea at all. I didn't look into any of that. I do think that Chiefs are going to score some field goals, though. I think for whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes has really struggled against the Eagles defense, the Eagles defense in general. That's led to a bunch of field goals. So that was on my short list as well. I'm not betting everything though, but I was looking into the field goal kicker to go up and over 1.5 field goals. I did look into that. Let's see. All right, bunch of comments coming in. Eagles -1, Saquon 2 rushing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes over for Tasha, over 24.5 rushing yards. He scrambles in high pressure games. Okay. Yeah, Melo is out. David says Kelsey and Goddard to have a catch on their team's first drive. Wonder what the odds are on that. Okay. All right, cool. So let's get into a quick recap. This is not the recap. This is the recap for yesterday. I just didn't update it. All right, so today, I'm not even gonna put Charlotte on there because I bet Charlotte Detroit so much. I got such a different number that I'm not even gonna add that, but I did take the under. We'll see how that goes. As far as plays that I made though, Isaiah Pacheco, like I said, I did play this. Isaiah Pacheco under 6.5 rush attempts. -130 you can get on ESP on BetMGM. And then Jalen Hurts, I played his anytime touchdown. Was my H button not working? There we go. Okay. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown, -115 is what I got. And NBA, I really like Toronto, man. I really like Toronto a lot. I think you can still get a 9.5. Let's double check it real quick. That's probably the play that I like the most. I got Bobby Portis just from the stream. I got Bobby Portis points plus rebounds. I'll look into a little bit more. I think the game starts in about 2.5 hours or hour and a half. I think Dame Lillard over his rebounds and assists, and a sir on his 27.5 points plus rebounds is what I'm looking at here. Yeah, you can still get Toronto 9.5 as well. So this should be red because I didn't play it yet. And I'll look into it a little bit. I'll look into the NBA a little bit deeper. I'll probably look into a couple player props. There's a ton of games on the board for tomorrow in the NBA. So we will be back live in the morning, kind of looking at some of these spots. And try to get paid tomorrow, man. Try to get paid tomorrow. It is the last week before the All-Star break. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on the board for tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes, man. We shall see how it goes. But I hope you guys enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the NBA before the Super Bowl. Best of luck on all your action for today. And I will catch you all tomorrow morning, bright and early. We'll be back live 7:30 a.m. getting through a lot of the games for tomorrow. So here are the resources as always. Check those out. Referral links are in the description of the video, of course, as they always are. And yeah, enjoy it. Like I said, enjoy this Sunday, man. Enjoy Super Bowl, and catch you guys in the morning. I'm out.